In this video I'm going to demonstrate how to apply vendor and customer opening balances to Garage Hive if you're using the Garage Hive, the Microsoft Dynamics accountancy package. So to start with, I just want to show you the chart of accounts, because you need to understand when you're applying the opening balance to the vendor or customer where the other half of that transaction initially goes. So if you're using the standard set of accounts, you'll see right at the bottom you have a set of opening balance accounts. So in this example we're going to use the vendor opening balance account. Now to create the journal for the opening balance, you need to use the light bulb or the search function in the top right hand corner, and you need to search for general journals, and you want to select the one under go to pages and tasks. Now when you hit this page, it may look like this, and if it does, you need to go to page, show more columns, because you need all of the columns to be able to do this journal. So when you're applying an opening balance, it's very, very important that you get the date correct. So the date should be the last date that the transaction stopped moving on your previous system. So if you've done a clean switch, when you switch to Garage Hive, you would have stopped using your previous accountancy system and started using Dynamics accountancy system. Well, it needs to be that date that you made the transition. So you need to start by selecting the date. In this demo, we'll just use 1st of January. You leave the document type blank. I personally like to change the document number to opening balance, so when I look at the vendor ledger entries or the customer ledger entries, I can actually see that this is a balance from the old system. The account type in this case is a vendor, and you need to select the vendor you want to apply the opening balance to. So moving along, you can leave all of this blank. Now it's quite important actually that these are all blank. So currency code, EU, general posting type, general business posting group, general product posting group need to remain blank. Now it's time to apply the balance. Now in this example we're bringing in the transactions as a balance, not as single individual invoices. You can, if you want to, actually bring the invoices over as individual on sort of a transactional level, but it's recommended you just do this as a balance. So in this case the balance for this customer is £3,523, and you'll notice I've done it in a credit because obviously with suppliers they hit your chart of accounts as a credit because it's a liability. Now the opposite half of the transaction needs to go to the vendor opening balance account. So you see I've now got balance in account type, which is GL account, and I've got balance in account number. So if I search for opening balance vendors, what I basically told the system is that on the 1st of January I want the document number to be opening balance, and on the parts direct vendor I want to put a balance of 3,523, and I want to balance that with my opening balance account. Now what I highly recommend that you do, and I actually insist that you do this, is you go to actions, functions, preview posting. Now the worst thing that you can do, and it would be a disaster if you did this, was somehow manage to apply VAT to an opening balance. It can affect you, well, it will affect your VAT return in a very bad way. So if you preview the posting, you can actually see how this is going to impact your ledgers before you even post the transaction. So if there's no VAT entries here, you're on to a good start. But what I would like to do is just go down into these entries and actually see what's happening. So we can see here that this supplier is going to get this balance against it, and we're going to balance it against this opening balancing account, like I said. So from this point, I go process, post. Do I want to post the journals? Yes. The journals were successfully posted. So if we take a quick look at this supplier, parts direct, I'll have a look at the balance. This was a test that I did earlier, but you can see this opening balance that I've just put onto the system. And you can see the document number, so it's plain for everybody to see. You can see what the document number is, and we're referencing it as an opening balance of the previous system. You do exactly the same for customers. It's the same process identically, except the account type is customer, and when you're entering the amount, a customer amount must be positive. It's not always positive. If the customer owes you money, then it's positive. If you owe the customer money, then it's negative. If we look at a supplier, if you owe the supplier money, it's negative. If the supplier owes you money, it's positive. So just remember those rules. If you're unsure, just please ask me and I'll point you in the right direction. I hope that helps. Any questions, let me know. Thank you.